Hi everyone. I am new to Magic the Gathering and I am still learning the basics. One thing that I am struggling with is the sheer number of cards. So when I watch other people play on a stream or YouTube, I can't follow all the details because they don't explain what most cards do. So I thought I would share some of my games and provide explanations for each card that's played and what else happens in the battle. Hopefully it's useful to others. Now, before we get started, I want to quickly show you my deck. This is a deck that I based off of one of the two-color starter decks from the MTG Arena tutorial. Its main idea is to get to play this card, Rite of the Dragoncaller. This costs 6 mana, so it happens fairly late in the game. The card is an enchantment and it gives me a 5/5 dragon with flying every time I cast an instant or sorcery spell. I also have a lot of low-cost spells, so hopefully this results in lots of dragons and overwhelms the opponent. Meanwhile, while we are trying to get to 6 mana, we can also use these spells to stay alive and prevent taking on too much damage. And hopefully, the opponent isn't as prepared for flying. So getting to this card is the deck's win condition. Now, one other card that also gives 5/5 flying dragons is this one, Dragon Master Outcast. It's a 1/1 creature and costs a single red mana. It's very easy to kill and it also requires 6 lands. It gives the dragons during the upkeep, which is before the main turn. In other words, you don't get the benefit on the turn you play it, so your opponent gets a turn first. This rarely actually gives us much benefit, but it's more of a decoy. And now, here's another key card that helps us get the Rite of the Dragoncaller quicker. Hell to Pay takes 1 red mana plus X additional mana. It deals X damage to a target creature and creates treasure tokens for the excess damage. The treasure token can then be sacrificed in a future turn to get back the mana. So this card lets us bank some mana from turn to turn. Alright, that's the basics of the deck. I will explain the rest of the cards as we go. We are playing Moxie. Good luck to my opponent. They go first. We need to decide whether to mulligan. We have 3 lands, and we have our win condition card, Rite of the Dragoncaller, so I think we are pretty happy with this hand. They are taking a while, so probably they will take a mulligan. And yes, they did. But we are going to keep our hand. They play a swamp. We play a mountain. Another swamp. And we play an island. We'll be able to start playing some of these spells now if there is a target for them, but we don't have a creature spell we can play yet. They play a swamp and we play an island, again. And again. But this time we can also play our Rodeo Pyromancers. It's a 3/4 creature, and it gives us 2 extra red mana every time we play our first spell each turn. And it gets killed. Our opponent played Murder, a mana value 3 instant that destroys a target creature. But that's okay, they play a swamp. We don't have a land to play this turn, which is not great, because we are trying to get to 6. So we'll play another Rodeo Pyromancers, see if they insta-kill it again. Now, even if they do, we are still having them use their limited resources. And same thing again, Murder. They don't play anything. We draw Island, so we play it. Now we are up to 5 lands. 1 more, and we can play our card. Alright, we get Eroded Canyon. Even though it's a land, it enters tapped, so we don't get the mana for the card. But at least it deals 1 damage to our opponent. And this is the first damage taken this match. We draw Island again. We play our special card on the island. Unfortunately, we don't have enough mana to play anything else. They play Pilfer. This is a 1/1 black mana sorcery spell. It allows them to look at our hand and choose a card for us to discard. They make us discard the second Rite of the Dragoncaller, which is hopefully okay. We already played one. Now we have no creatures and no targets for our instance, so we must pass. They also pass. We draw Seize the Secrets. Seize the Secrets is a 2+1 blue mana sorcery. It allows us to draw 2 cards. It costs 1 less mana if we've done crimes, which are certain activities that target an opponent. We haven't, so we pay the full price. And we finally get our first dragon. We draw a mountain, which we can play right away, and now we can also play Demand Answers. Demand Answers costs 1+1 red mana, and it also requires us to discard a card or sacrifice an artifact. It then lets us draw 2 cards. We discard Thunder Salvo. Thunder Salvo is a 1+1 red mana instant, which lets us do X+2 damage, where X is the number of spells we've played this turn. Our opponent has no creatures we can target, and we have 2 salvos in hand, so we are okay discarding 1. Demand Answers is also an instant, so it gives us another Flying Dragon token. We draw Slick Sequence and Abrade. Abrade is a 1+1 red mana instant. It allows us to either deal 3 damage to any target, including the opponent, or to destroy an artifact. There are no artifacts, so we deal damage to the opponent. It would also give us a 3rd dragon token this turn. I change my mind and I play Slick Sequence, which is an instant that takes 1 blue and 1 red to cast. I prefer it because it also lets us a draw card since if we have played any other spells, in addition to dealing 2 damage to the opponent or another target. And we get our 3rd dragon token. Oops, we need to end our turn. Our opponent plays Winter's Intervention, a 1+1 black mana instant that deals 2 damage to one of our dragons and gives 2 life to the opponent. Then the opponent plays 2 Compound Fracture instants, each costing 1 black mana. This card gives -1/-1 to a creature, plus an additional -1/-1 for each Compound Fracture in their cemetery. The card goes into the cemetery after they play, so the second one gives us a -2/-2, enough to bring this dragon down to 0 and die. Next they playing Tithing Blade for 1/1+1 black mana. This card is more complicated to explain. It's an artifact. When it enters, each opponent, meaning us, sacrifices a creature. Now, the more complicated part, which ended up not mattering here, is that the player can pay an additional 4+1 black mana and use a creature either under their control from the battlefield or from their graveyard to essentially transform this card into a different card, called Consuming Sepulchre, which makes each opponent, meaning us, lose 1 life, and the player who owns the artifact gain 1 life every turn. But we don't get there. For now, we need to sacrifice one of our dragons. Not too bad. We still have 1 dragon active and a bunch of spells we can play. We start with Slick Sequence again, this time only dealing the damage but not drawing a card, as it's the first spell we've cast this turn. We get a 5/5 Flying Dragon token. We then play Demand Answers again, which lets use discard 1 and draw 2 cards. We also get another 5/5 dragon. And we draw an island, so we might as well just play it now. We also play our Dragon Master Outcast for 1 red mana. Now, this is a creature spell, so the Rite of the Dragoncaller ability doesn't trigger. It only triggers on instants and sorceries, so we don't get another dragon right away. But the Dragon Master itself will give us one at the beginning of our next turn because we have 6 lands, but it's only a 1/1 creature and an easy target. Finally, we get to use our dragon to attack. It deals 5 damage to the opponent. The opponent plays a Swamp and Eaten Alive, which is a 1 black mana sorcery, but it has an additional cost of sacrificing a creature or paying 3+1 black mana. The opponent has no creatures, so in total, they pay 5 black mana to get rid of our Dragon Master Outcast. That still leaves 3 of our 5/5 dragons on the battlefield, so we'll deal 15 damage next turn. Our opponent only has 12 life left, so they resign and we take a W. That's our battle and that's how this deck works. Now, there are some shortcomings with it, but we didn't get to see them here. That's in a future video. For now, let me know what you think of this style of battle narration. Is it helpful? Is it too much detail? What else would you like to see? Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.